to Do Life. I have with me
Sheila
and
Angela,
and of course I'm Yolanda, and today we're going to be talking about who's to blame. Right? We go through life blaming people for this, blaming people for that. You did that to me. You said that to me. But really, who is to blame? When you think about all the things people have said, people have done, how they've acted, backstabbers, front stabbers, side stabbers, who's really to blame? Do we go around life just blaming people for our shortcomings? Blaming people for how my life turned out? Blaming people for not accomplishing our goals? Who's to blame?
so the blame is easily placed elsewhere other than on ourselves. I know that it's difficult to take an introspective look at how we're doing life or certain decisions that we've made. But let's just be honest, we've not always made the right decisions. And we have to live with the consequences of those decisions, just like you have to live with the consequences of the good ones that you make. However, the blame can always be placed on someone else. However, but what happens when it's really you?
Ooh.
When it's
I
really
don't want
you.
it to be me.
When it's really you and you have to do the work.
That's why I don't want it to be me.
I'm sure.
Because that work, no one wants to face the true demon, which is the enemy, the inner me, right? Nobody wants to have to deal with my contribution to the issue,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they talked about you. Yeah, they hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did you wrong. Yeah, they backstabbed you. Ooh, but what's the contribution?
Yeah. What if what they said was true?
See, we ain't ready for that.
What if it is true? You have to, again, identify what that is and deal with that particular trait or behavior, so that you don't relive those things all over again and make the same mistakes.
Or, let's just say for the sake of argument, there is someone to blame. Maybe you had a lousy childhood. You know, your mom wasn't there, your parents weren't there. Maybe you had a lousy husband. You know, maybe, your kids is out of control, whatever. Whoever is to blame for how you're feeling. But how long are you going to stay in that?
Come on, that's the piece.
Yeah.
That piece right there.
It's their fault that I'm this way. Okay, but they're going on with their lives.
Right. And how many years did that happen?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
People are still holding on to stuff from 1976, right? That don't nobody even remember who, what, when, where, how. We don't even know where we were at. We don't know none of that. Half of the people that was involved is now dead and gone to glory, right?
Or still living their best life. They
Yeah.
talk no more about you and what they did to you than the man in the moon. And we know ain't no man in the moon.
Right.
So how long are we going to stay in that it's their fault, he's to blame?
Right.
How long, conversations you and I have had so many times, okay, so what? Your mom wasn't there. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
You made it.
You are 60 some odd years old.
Right.
How long are you going to blame? Okay, so what? Your marriage didn't work. Okay, get out of it. If you want to be married, God will send you somebody else.
Yeah.
How long are you going to blame other people for now, like you just said, for that free will that God freely gives us to make other better or whatever kind of choices that we want to make? We can choose to either stay in that blame pit or I heard our bishop's wife say, how we have our own long handled spoon and we dig in our own pit. Because it's his fault that I can't do this, or it's her fault that I can't do that. or it's my job's fault that my stress level is high and my blood pressure is high. These kids don't listen to me, and you're just going deeper and deeper until you hit something, and that something usually is rock bottom, and God is telling you, this is as far as I'm going to allow you to go.
Correct.
With this. It's their fault. It's their fault.
Because the blame makes it easy, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're right. I don't have to deal with me because all eyes are now on everybody else. But that also, oftentimes people use that as leverage for the pity party. Leverage for not having to change. An excuse for poor behavior, right?
Oh, yeah.
I can act a fool, and it's because you did it.
Yeah.
You said that to me, and now I'm popping off. Now when I pop off, then you're mad, right? We hear that oftentimes so much. But the truth of the matter is, who's to blame? Us. We're responsible for our contribution to every situation. Doesn't mean that we are not excusing. Doesn't mean that we are excusing what the other person may have done. And we're not invalidating what happened to you. But we are saying you are the blame for not moving forward.
Amen.
You're the blame for not taking accountability of your life and saying, I might not have had the best childhood, but I can do all I can to have the best going forward life.
Yeah.
Right. So it goes back to decisions. It's a choice.
Yeah. It does such a disservice to the person, their destiny, period, and walking in purpose. The Bible says that we are supposed to occupy until he comes. That means we have an assignment to fulfill in the earth. So if you are busy rehearsing what continued or what happened in the past, you live there, you pitch a tent and you live there. You never live for what's in the future or what God has for you to really do in the earth. So you never reach the potential in which he has for you to reach. Not even just potential, because potential is not enough. Everybody can have potential. But actually doing the work and doing what he's sent you here to do, you don't have time to waste. So don't waste it on the past. Get beyond that. Live in where you are now and move forward.
Forward moving is difficult. And I think forward moving is difficult because as long as people have something or someone to blame, then it keeps me safe. Right? Yeah. It's a protection mechanism. Right? Blame protects me from being vulnerable again. Yeah. So as long as I can blame you for my hurt feelings, then I'll make sure you never hurt me again because I'm not letting you near me. As long as I can blame you for my poor childhood, then that way it gives me a reason as to why, or an excuse as to why I may spend extravagantly or desire things that I never had growing up. Yeah. You see how it can position us to do these things that we know may be irresponsible, right? Yeah. But it's like, well, it's because of that, then this. You know, or it keeps us in protection mode, which means that it cuts off all relationships. Yeah. Even our relationship with the Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, and you never reach actually or embody the entire relationship that the Father has for you because you have a wall there. You don't trust enough. You don't trust enough that he will be what you need him to be for you and to you.
Because I got this, right? When I'm blaming others, I got this. So now I got to control my whole life because I got this. Because can't nobody do it because I can't trust that you're going to handle me with care. Yeah.
Well, we put our sunshades on that have
our blue
somebody else's fault. We wear them so when opportunity to do better, be better, look better, feel better, presents itself, we can't see because our sunshades. You know, it's like wearing sunglasses in the dark. And you wonder, why is it so dark out here?
You can't see nothing.
Sunshades. That's why. The sunshade, the sun, the one and only sun. You can't see him for
I like that.
the darkness of your sunshade.
Yeah.
So when the sun comes to present you with the opportunity, hey, you don't have to live like this.
Yeah.
It just goes right on by you because you didn't see it.
Right.
Because my son had to bring this to my mind. He was like, Mom, why do you walk with your head down? I hate that. And it brought me up because I had to really look at, why am I always walking around like this?
Wow.
Going to my car, going somewhere, head down, head down. I knew where it came from, but was I willing to acknowledge and say to him, it's because of whatever the reason was. He was like, well, I don't like that. Walk with your head up. But and it goes back to what you said earlier, Londa, about feeling worthy.
Yeah.
Feeling like I do deserve to be looked at.
Yeah.
I don't care if it is a shade look.
Yeah. Look is a look.
A look is a look. You know what I'm saying? But I need to keep my head up to see where I'm going.
Yeah.
Because if my head is always down, I too will miss the opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Like when the sun comes, I'm so busy doing this, and I'm forgetting which sun I'm shielding myself from.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's
And I even want to talk about overcompensating because, my father wasn't present from like my younger years, like 10 years on up. So being a PK, and I'm going to talk about it.
Come on.
Being a PK is not easy.
For those that don't know what a PK is.
It's a preacher's kid. Being a PK is not an easy task. I completely get where PKs are at and where they come from. And why certain decisions they make. And I know the root of it. I've been there, so I completely understand. But my father, even in that light, my mother and my father divorced, and he made the decision to not be a part of me and my sister's life. And overcompensating for me I felt like I was making that lifestyle decision to show him that I got this. I didn't need you anyway.
Oh, that's good.
I didn't need you anyway.
Yeah.
I still made it. I still did it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't me at all.
Yeah.
It wasn't me at all.
Yeah.
And I found the love of things. That's where it all derived from.
Yeah. So
the love
you're just
of things
shifting.
and acquiring.
Yeah.
Correct.
You're just shifting
Yeah.
the
To
emotion
prove
over.
to you, you did nothing.
Right.
However, but I had to go to the altar and release that and forgive him genuinely for his not being present in order to really, really receive the love of the Father, the way that he intended for me to receive and to have a relationship with him, and for me to really trust him to be my provider. Whatever I need, he's going to give it and going to do it. And to trust him on that level, I had to forgive my earthly father and not even feel like I had to overcompensate to prove anything to him.
That's good. That's really good. So, because the truth of the matter is, who's to blame is really rooted in trust issues. Right? I don't trust me enough to be able to move forward, right? Or I don't trust people enough to be able to let them in. So if we're not able to trust naturally, we are hypocritical to say, I can trust the Father.
Not in its totality, you can't.
You cannot.
No, you
There
can't
is
say, I'll give you this.
Correct.
I can trust you with this.
Yeah,
But
because that's really what we're saying.
But
We're
this
saying
right
you can
here-
have this, but you can't have total trust. There can never be total surrender if we're walking around. Who's to blame? Who's to blame? If I'm still blaming you for this and you for that and her for this and him for that, I can never. It dampens the relationship because I can never truly have an authentic, trusting relationship with the Lord because those are blocks. And I have to get to that place where I'm willing to address those blocks. And I also believe that's how people get stumped in their faith walk.
Yeah.
Because when God come knocking on that door that you had closed, because that is an area that of hurt, there's an area of who's to blame. And I closed that door for a reason, because I'm not really ready to deal with who's to blame, what happened, and to walk out the forgiveness. Then we say, I tap out.
Yeah.
I was, like you said, I was fine. You can have them finances. You can have them kids. You can have the job.
Yeah.
You can have me serving at the church.
But oh,
but these doors over here, Lord, I got them shut for a reason.
Yeah, I ain't letting you in there.
Not only shut, they barricaded, Lord. They got chains and locks.
Right.
No, Lord, don't go there. Please, Lord, don't go there.
Right.
And I think, like you said earlier, fear.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Fear keeps us bound.
In so many areas.
It's so
many areas. So many
and like you and I always talk about, Nancy, I think you and I have discussed it too. We got to get to the root of where all that fear is coming from.
Yeah.
So that you can now deal with, well, why are you still blaming so-and-so for something they did 12 years ago?
And they probably don't remember.
I don't know.
The other piece of it too, though, I believe is, as long as I'm blaming you, I'm holding you accountable. I don't want you to ever think that you got away with what you did to me. Or I don't want you to ever think that I am freeing you, right, from what you did. So it's my way, again, controlling the situation to what is comfortable for me.
But then that gets into forgiveness.
Correctamundo.
Because if you're still walking around blaming and holding somebody accountable for something they did, said, didn't do, didn't say, or whatever, you know, whatever it is that, because let's just be honest, we've all had situations, good, bad, or indifferent, you know, with people, with family, jobs, whoever, that has said, didn't say, didn't do to us, that left us feeling like, I'm feeling some kind of way about that.
Correct.
You know, but when it comes to, well, let me say this, like we compartmentalize blame.
Yeah.
Like, you
didn't
invite me. You didn't invite me to something. I've been mad at you for about a month for that, but now we back. But if you hurt me to my heart, I can't let that go.
Oh, it's the person too.
Yeah.
People will forgive their boyfriend for beating their tail, but they won't forgive their mama who couldn't buy them no sneakers. Make it make sense.
Or they won't forgive the friend. They won't forgive the friend that turns the boyfriend in for beating you.
Right. But forgive the boyfriend for beating you.
Yeah.
So you're right. It is it's compartmentalized in so many different ways, because I will let you get away with this, you get away with that, and you get away with this, and maybe this person get away with nothing.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And then because it's all about control.
Right.
As long as I am controlling who I blame and how long I blame, then I am protecting my feelings.
Yeah.
I'm protecting the hurt. It's all about the wall being built up. That's why when we talk about who's to blame, really it's us. Not because of what happened. We are to blame because we have not made the decision to move forward. We've not made the decision to forgive. We've not made the decision to say, I want better. I deserve better. Right? I want a better relationship with the Lord. I want a better relationship with people I encounter for my future. That don't mean you go back and get the person. Remember, forgiveness don't have nothing to do. I can forgive you, but we ain't got to be besties, right? So that's not what we're saying here. What we're saying is forgive them for you. Forgiveness is all about you, that you can be a better you, that you can stop blaming, that you can stop holding people accountable. Because at the end of the day, God said, vengeance is mine.
And for that one finger you got pointed at somebody, I blame you, Look at them 3 fingers pointing back at yourself.
Right. Right.
You know, you gotta
Right. You gotta remember.
who's the common denominator in this.
And on top of that, what have you done to somebody else that now you need forgiveness for?
Yeah.
It's reciprocal.
Yeah.
Right.
It's reciprocal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we forget that part because we want to stay in that area of being able to blame and point out what that individual did to you, but there's some wrongs that you've done too.
others.
Yeah, to others.
Mhm.
You know, you've done some things that weren't pleasing as well. So those things do come back. I mean, not part of the word is true. All of it is true. And
Yeah.
the seed you sow, you shall also reap.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's to blame? Wow, that was really good conversation.
Yeah.
Didn't think it was gonna turn around into that direction, but I think it was good because we needed a reminder of making sure that we can keep ourselves clean,
Yeah.
that we can stay
Yeah.
open, and keep that portal
Creating
open for the
us a
Father,
clean
right?
heart.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Less of me, more you.
Yeah, because that's really what it's
Clean
all
heart.
about at the end of the day. If we cannot have a pure and honest relationship with the Father, then it's all for naught,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It is all for naught. Relationships with other people will come, but we got to make sure that we're in tune and have the right relationship with the Father
Amen.
all the time.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right, so we had some good conversation today.
Yes,
Who's to blame? Self-check at its best
Yeah.
to determine where the root of it all is coming from. We thank you for joining us for this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share. Also, hit that notification bell that you will receive an update for the next episode to come. Also, don't forget to join us and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Kingdom Women Talk. Again, thank you, KWT community, for joining us. We are Kingdom Women Talk. I am Yolanda.
I'm Sheila.
And I'm Angela.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.